This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I am thrilled to be here helping you with learning to play the guitar. In this quick answer episode, I am going over fully diminished seventh chords and half diminished seventh chords. If you need help with diminished triads, there's a quick answer video on that, so you can take a look at those. It's on diminished and augmented chords. So, fully diminished sevenths and half diminished sevenths. What is the difference? Well, a fully diminished seventh chord has a root, so does the half diminished. So that's the foundational pitch that everything's based on. Then above that we have a minor third for both chords. Both chords have a diminished fifth or a flatted fifth sitting above them. So the difference lies in what's happening with the seventh. With the fully diminished seventh chord we have a diminished seventh. That is a double flatted seventh. It's actually the same pitch as the sixth. And with the half diminished it's only a minor seventh. So for example with C, with a fully diminished seventh chord, I'm going to have C, E flat, G flat, and B double flat, which is A. But with the half diminished, I'm going to have C, E flat, G flat, and B flat. So just a minor seventh instead of that double flatted seventh or diminished seventh. That's the defining difference. The two also function differently. Usually we see this one as a 2 chord in a minor key, and this one we usually see as a leading tone seventh chord in either a major or minor key. Now in classical music sometimes we can run into this one as a leading tone seventh chord as well, but in jazz music where we run into this a lot, it's usually functioning as a 2 chord in a minor key. So we'll go ahead. I'm going to mention this one is also known as a minor 7 flat 5 chord because it's a minor 7th chord with a flatted 5th. So that's another name for that one. And the chord symbols can reflect that. So the chord symbol for the half diminished, we might see the root like C, F sharp, or B flat, and then an open circle with a line drawn through it, and that means that it's not fully diminished, but it's half diminished. That's compared to the fully diminished seventh chord, which will have the root like C, B flat, or F sharp, and then the open circle, and then the number 7 telling us it's a fully diminished seventh chord. The other option we might see, like over here, is to have the minor 7th shown and then a flat 5. I could have also put a dash for the minor instead of a lowercase m. So that's what the chord symbols look like. Let's look at how these chords are actually played. So the fully diminished 7th chord, I'm going to look at that one second. The half diminished I'll look at first, the minor 7 flat 5. I'm going to demonstrate this right at the 6th fret. So I've got the root circled. Wherever that note is located along the neck of the guitar, whatever note that is, where I've positioned this chord, that's the version I'm going to be playing. So as I demonstrated at the 6th fret on the 6th string for this first one, that's a B flat pitch. So I'm demonstrating these with a B flat half diminished chord or a B flat minor 7 flat 5. Middle finger goes there, ring and pinky. So we skip over the 5th string, it's muted by this finger, the same finger that's playing the root, mutes that 5th string, and then ring and pinky at the 6th fret of the strings 4 and 3. Index goes at the 5th fret of the 2nd string. And we get a minor 7 flat 5, B flat half diminished, or minor 7 flat 5. And that's how we play that one. We mute that top one. So it's all about what note that finger's sitting at. So if I go a fret higher, it becomes B half diminished, C half diminished, C sharp or D flat, and so on. If you need help with that, you can check out my quick answer video on knowing the notes on these bottom strings. So then over here on the right side of the board, B flat for the voicing on the farthest right side of the board, we got one off the 5th string. So I'm going to put my index finger there on the 6th fret. Again, I'm going to use that as my demonstration point. Off the 5th string, that's an E flat. So this is going to be E flat minor 7 flat 5 or E flat half diminished. Index and middle are both at the 6th fret. Index is on the 5th string, middle is on the 3rd string. Then ring and pinky fill in. Ring on the 4th string, pinky on the 2nd string. They're 1 fret higher than the other two. And I've got a nice half diminished. Sometimes people will bar here and then use middle and ring. So that's another way to finger that one. You can play it either way. And that's E flat there, then it becomes E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, and so on and so forth. So that's the half diminished chord. That's the minor 7 flat 5. Let's look at the fully diminished 7th then. Got three options for playing that, and I'm just going to explain this down here. So when playing the half-diminished, I'm almost always in movable form. When playing the fully diminished, sometimes we do this in first position, and that's what down here is for. But let's first look at the 6th string and the 5th string forms for this one. So if I stick the root there on the 6th string at the 6th fret, so using B flat again, I'm going to bar over with my index finger the 4th and 2nd strings, but it's going to bar over those 3 right there at the 5th fret. And then my middle finger comes up on the root, 6th string, 6th fret, and ring finger goes 6th fret on the 3rd string. I'm going to mute the 5th string, mute the top string. That's a way to play B flat fully diminished 7th. I can alternatively, as this suggests, use index, middle, ring, and pinky, and actually finger each one of those notes. So I can use a bar, or I can finger them, just like so. And when I move that up, B diminished, C diminished, C sharp or D flat, D, so on. If I stick it down here, because this is a G note, I'm playing G. So the 5th string form then, middle finger on the 6th fret of the 5th string, so E flat, we're demonstrating with that one. My index finger goes on the 3rd string at the 5th fret. Then ring and pinky fill in the fret just higher than the root on strings 4 and 2. I mute the top string, mute that little 6th string, and I've got a nice fully diminished 7th chord there. E, fully diminished F, F sharp or G flat, G, or I could go down to D, and so forth. Now, we often run into this chord, or even the diminished triad. Sometimes with the diminished triad, I'll throw the 7th on because I like the sound of it. But when we run into this in the mix of our first position chords, I just want to point out, we can play one on the top 4 strings. And this one works the same as these. So this could be my root, positioned in first position, that's an E. And whatever note I'm playing along the 4th string, I could have F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat, A, so forth. So I could choose to play it on the top 4 strings. But this is sort of the trick. What's cool about the fully diminished 7th chord is it is a stack of minor third triads on top of each other. There's a minor third between these two, the distance. We'd expect that because this is a minor third above the root. But between the minor third and the diminished 5th is a minor third interval. The distance between these two is a minor third. Same thing between these two, it's a minor third. And if you play from here, a minor third up, it starts over at the root again. So because of that, it's a symmetrical chord. Minor thirds stacked on top of each other. I can just keep going and going. What that means is, for a C diminished, it has the notes C, E flat, G flat, and A. The notes of a C diminished chord will have the same notes as an E flat diminished 7th chord, the same notes as a G flat diminished 7th chord, the same notes as an A diminished 7th chord. So any note in the chord can actually be the root. So when we're in first position and we need a diminished 7th chord, all we need to do is use this shape and move it to where we have a note sitting on one of the notes in the chord just needs to be the note of the root. So it's kind of small here, but we have an open D string, then D sharp or E flat, E, F, F sharp or G flat. On the next string it starts open G, right? G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat, and then we have a B, and then we have C, C sharp or D flat, D, D sharp or E flat. We have the open E, F, F sharp or G flat, G, G sharp or A flat. So we've got more than the 12 notes that we need there. So if I needed an E diminished chord, I have an E right here. I can put this shape down. If I needed an A diminished 7th chord, I have an A. I just need to slide this down a fret and I can have the A there. So F sharp or C. So I just need to find that note. There's a quick answer video on finding notes and understanding the notes in first position. So as long as one of the notes in the shape, and I can even make these two be on the open strings, as long as one of the notes is the note of the root, then I have that fully diminished 7th chord. So that's sort of a trick to playing these in first position with other first position chords, or the basic chords, I should say. Okay, I hope that helps. I hope you're having fun with the guitar. I sure love playing the guitar. We'll see you again. Take care. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.